welcome to... On tonight's Clubhouse Live season premiere, we're kicking off season 16 with a Legends Edition show as we welcome back Packers great and Pro Football Hall of Famer LeRoy Butler. We'll get LeRoy's thoughts on everything green and gold as the Packers close in on their Week 1 showdown with the Eagles in Brazil. Can Jordan Love pick up where he left off? Will the defense emerge as a strength with a new coordinator and a new scheme? We'll ask LeRoy about that and much more. All right, it's time to get a brand new season started. Hey, LeRoy, come on in.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to a new season of Clubhouse Live. We are coming to you live from the Fox Club. We're inside Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium here in Grand Chute, Wisconsin, home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, also home to Clubhouse Live. I am Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin. Thank you for joining us. Season premiere show, season number 16. A standing ovation. How's everybody doing tonight, everybody? It is a beautiful night in Northeast Wisconsin, a beautiful night here at the Fox Club as well, and we are going to have some fun tonight. First of all, I want to thank tonight's high fivers. They are members of the Kimberly boys soccer team at the Papermakers. They got LeRoy in safe and sound, so that's good. We will talk and meet the Papermakers here in a little bit, but as always, we have a lot to talk about as we kick off this brand new season. I can't believe it's this time of year already. Where did summer go? Where did the off season go? I don't know about you guys. I don't want to let go of summer yet. Can't we just have football while it's still nice and warm throughout the entire season? Do we have to have winter? But that could mean a Super Bowl run, right? That'll be okay. That's a trade-off, right? Winter, but a Super Bowl run. What do you think, Bob? You like that? There we go. Well, I tell you what, it's Eagles week, right? The preseason slate is behind us. The 53-man roster is set, and football is back. It's finally time to start looking ahead to that big Week 1 matchup between the Packers and the Eagles. Friday night from Brazil. You guys excited for that one? Yeah. Is Jordan Love truly among the elite quarterbacks in the game, right? Was Jeff Hafley the right man to fix Green Bay's defense, turning them hopefully into a nasty and ferocious unit? And are you comfortable with the kicking situation, ladies and gentlemen? Are we going to have another season of kicking questions? Have the Packers returned to Super Bowl contender status? Those questions and many more will be answered over these next few months. It should be another interesting season. They usually are in Titletown. And look who is here tonight. Happy Vince. Happy Vince Lombardi. Hey, you Papermakers, that's Vince Lombardi. Look him up, huh? All right. I know it's a little bit before your time, but the guy's a legend, so look him up. So anyway, why is Happy Vince happy? Well, it's season 16. It's our season premiere show, right? That's a round of applause for that. And I heard there was a tailgate in the parking lot before the show as well. Interesting. That is a one-time deal. No more of those tailgates. So we want you inside eating all this good food. We're excited to partner with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers again in the Fox Club, right? What else is Vince happy about? Well, I'll tell you, we will be celebrating our milestone 350th show later this season in a couple months, and our unofficial mascot, Mean Gene, he recently turned the big 8-0. He's 80 years old. Mean Gene looking good for 80, and if that isn't enough tonight, we do have a very special guest. It is Green Bay Packers legend. It is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. It's the one and only LeRoy Butler is here tonight. Where is he? He was here. I think he's here.
I think he had to go to the little boys' room.
I thought I saw him, but he's
He had to go to the bathroom.
So that means that we need to kind of stretch out this segment, right, before we introduce him.
Does that mean I get more? I get more time?
Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I have to do this for sure right now as we're killing some time. It is the other member of our Clubhouse Live crew. It is, thankfully, the one and the only Chicago Bears fan, Ricardo Arguello, everybody.
That's pretty weak on the booze already, huh? You guys got to get in mid-season form for that.
Now, Ricardo, normally I would say no talking about your Bears, but apparently we have to talk about some Bears here until we wait for our special guest.
Why don't we take the whole show over and talk about the Bears?
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
They're going to do very well. I see LeRoy over there just hanging out. LeRoy, you just stay over there, my friend.
No, we want LeRoy here. Listen, Caleb Williams is going to be an utter disaster.
Oh, no way.
The Bears are going to win 4 games tops, and it's just going to be a debacle in
all right, I'll tell you this much,
Windy
Brett.
City one more time.
I'm going to be very realistic. Win total could be anywhere from 8 to 19.
Oh, please.
8 to 19.
That's enough. Hey, I see our guest. It is LeRoy
There we
Butler.
go.
He's right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. No, not yet. Not yet. This is a preseason show.
It's our first show.
Now listen, before you tell everybody how the show works, I want to thank our presenting sponsors.
Yes,
right?
go ahead.
We have Cellcom and Local IQ. Cellcom is your local wireless carrier who keeps you connected to what matters most. With a homegrown 5G network and extraordinary customer care, they are more than just a wireless carrier. They are technology with a heartbeat. Visit cellcom.com to learn more. And with over 20 years of digital marketing expertise, Local IQ delivers results through cutting-edge innovation, now featuring AI-powered solutions to help you attract, convert, and retain more customers with their award-winning technology. Okay, Ricardo, tell everybody how the show works. We kind of have a new chat format because we're streaming exclusively really to YouTube.
That's right. We are an interactive show, so we invite your comments and questions through our live chat. I'm going to be monitoring both the YouTube and the Facebook chat, so I'm going to do my best to kind of relay any comments or questions, Brett, that they have over to you. But please participate if you can. If you have a great question, I'll try to find it and relay it over to you guys.
Yep, so again, YouTube is the online component now, and then, Facebook, go with Packers News and Clubhouse Live. Those will be the chat sites. So again, also give us a follow on X. I'm at PC Bretzi, Ricardo's at Ricardo De Leon, and LeRoy is at Leap36. Clubhouse Live is also the hashtag, and please give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. So now we can formally introduce our guest. He is refreshed. He's ready to go for the next 45, 50 minutes. And by the way, we do have the Eagles welcome mat, Ricardo, right in front of you on the floor for LeRoy to stomp his feet all over to give the Packers a little luck going into Brazil. So tonight's special guest, he is considered one of the greatest safeties in NFL history. Am I right? He played in 12 NFL seasons, all with the Packers. He was a 4-time first-team All-Pro selection and a 4-time Pro Bowl selection. He was named to the NFL's All-Decade team of the 1990s. We'll keep it going. As we said last time, this guy revolutionized the safety position. Did he not, right? He was a key member and leader of the 1996 Packers team that won the Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl 31. He is the inventor of the Lambeau Leap. He is a member of the Packers Board of Directors. He is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He likes his vodka. Did you go? Yeah, he does.
Oh, who doesn't, though?
He does like his vodka. He's a multimedia star. He's a friend of the show. And apparently, Ricardo, he hangs out with Michael Jordan.
Wow.
He does.
There you go. Okay.
How about a big Clubhouse Live welcome for the one, the only, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. It's Packers great, number 36, LeRoy Butler. I just remember when you came on the show and visited us, you thought you could give me a little hug, and I don't like hugging people.
We're friends.
Right? I don't care if you're a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I don't want nobody touching me.
I get it. I get it.
How are you doing? Look at this crowd to start off the season. We got a jam-packed crowd.
Yes. Well, first of all, every day's a vacation. I mean, every single day is a vacation. I am excited because a lot of people nationally, they really don't know what to expect. So they're going to be watching with a lot of anxiety / excitement. Because if you can go all the way back to the Dallas, how you felt after the Dallas victory in the playoffs, they don't know what to think because of what happened against San Francisco. So, and I think that's fair. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well, everybody's excited for Friday in Brazil. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. A couple programming notes, though. Stick around, everybody. Towards the end of the show, we're going to announce next week's big guest. Hint, he's among the best in the NFL at his position, and he's another friend of the show. And he's going to be wearing Packers green and gold for the foreseeable future. So that's a little tease, a little hint as to who next week's guest will be. And for those in attendance, be sure to check out LeRoy. He's got a short autograph session following the show. So that'll be to my left, your right. Go get an autograph from LeRoy. He's going to be sticking around, signing his signature on a whole bunch of good items. That should be a lot of fun as well. So welcome back to the show. You helped us put a bow on the 2023 season. And, you know, it was like years, you ignored us for years, and now we can't keep you away, right? Now we're happy to have you back as we kick off 2024. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I think the thing about the transition of the Packers, if you're in your 50s like I am, when the Packers were 2-5, a lot of people think it was going to go back to the 80s. Ooh. And that changed quickly. Now you not only that the Packers are on the fast track to win a Super Bowl. And when I say that, I really mean it because you spent a lot of money at safety and at running back, and you gave Jordan Love one of the largest contracts ever to say to the fan base, yes, we realize that the Super Bowl this year is in New Orleans.
Sounds familiar.
And that's why I wanted my Super Bowl.
Yes.
So let's be honest, though. The Packers are one of 18 that realistically have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So you have to feel good about that, and you have to take that kind of momentum going into this year.
Now, LeRoy, I'm glad you said this because, first of all, how can it be that you're over 50 years old? I mean, come on. Where is time going?
56.
56 years old? Are you kidding me?
7 kids and 6 grandkids.
Whoa, congratulations.
Don't ask me their names, though. Don't ask me their names.
What are all 13 we want to know?
No, don't do that.
Brett, and I want to say, LeRoy looks great, and no Botox, right, LeRoy? That's all natural.
Now, the only thing is Dr. Munoz got my smile looking amazing, though.
Yes, Dr. Munoz. See, it does look good. Right there, that's good advertising right there.
Yeah, that was organic. I didn't even know he was here.
That's not on the script, but...
that's right, I love that guy.
But listen, okay, 28 years have gone by since that 1996 season. 28, it's almost 30 years. We're in the heck this time going number one, but number two, when you think, what is the one thing instantly that you think of when you think back to that season, that team, when you look at your ring? What's the first thing that pops into your mind?
Well, I saw basically a poster after we beat Carolina, and it said 30 years of misery has ended. We're going to the Super Bowl. The impact of seeing that was after the first 2 Super Bowls, I'm sure people in their 70s thought it was going to be easy. Yeah. But that was a long drought. So it got very emotional when you got a chance to not only go to a Super Bowl, but to win it and to play against, New England when we had 4 interns to make sure they didn't deflate the footballs, so we were able to beat them. If you don't know that joke, you got to get the internet. But it was amazing because if you look at that particular team, of course we had some of the Hall of Famers, me, Brett, and Reggie, but you got to look at who the Super Bowl MVP was. Desmond Howard, special teams. Yeah. So it was a great team that was put together. Oh, I forgot Ron Wolf was also the Hall of Famer. So it was a perfect storm to a team was on the cusp of dominating in the 90s.
It was a lot of fun, and it's been good stuff pretty much every year ever since. Another Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Could be another Super Bowl maybe in the not-too-distant future with Jordan Love. Speaking of Super Bowls and Super Bowl droughts, do you have a message? We always like to kind of do this for Chicago Bears fan Ricardo Arguello, who hasn't experienced the Super Bowl championship since almost, the mid-'80s, right? It was that long ago.
It's been a while. Why you got to bring up old stuff?
Right?
Come on.
Every year, LeRoy, he thinks this is the season for his Bears.
Well, I'll say this. My aunt lives in Aurora, okay?
Sounds like a great woman.
So my uncle married into the family in '82. So he's a huge Bears fan.
Great guy.
Now, I'll say this. The Chicago Bears have, fantasy-wise, the top 5 offense. If Caleb Williams don't turn the ball over, they're going to score points. Just on the cusp of Keenan Allen. I think he's a Hall of Famer. DJ Moore, and then the young man they drafted, receiver, Duzier. I think that's his name, I'm not sure. And then they went out and got a running back. So they have everything, and I think that's the reason why they kept Eberflus to say, if you can find a defense that can stop people, they're going to be in some games. So Caleb Williams is the real deal. Now, I will say this, full disclosure. I thought Justin Fields was the guy.
So did he.
So did I, yes.
But I think Chicago is a team that moving forward that you're going to have to contend with in the future because you got to get a quarterback, as we did when we drafted Jordan Love when you already had Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we'll see. It's always
I love it.
It's always
Very wise man is LeRoy Butler,
Yes.
Brett.
He
You
is a
listen to
wise
him.
man. That was just a roundabout way of him saying the Bears are going to still suck, right? That's really what he's saying. Am I right, people? Come on now. Also, it's not easy for a rookie quarterback to come on, unless you're C.J. Stroud, but usually it takes a few seasons. So
That's true.
now listen, this guy's on TV, he's on the radio, he's on podcasts, he's all over the place. But I want to ask you this question. You're working on a documentary about your story right now, right? Did you guys know this? It's going to be called Leap of Faith, the LeRoy Butler story. Yes. How is that project coming? Give us a little slice into what that's all about. It's your story. When is it going to be out? When can we see it?
I think for the most part, every time I learn something about myself, it gets a little delayed because I didn't know some of the things that I think it's widely known. I had braces on my legs, growing up in poverty, single parent, because most of the time when a parent has raised kids by themselves, they said those kids normally don't turn out to be anything. Well, I go against all of that. But not only that, I only had one goal in life, and that was to make it to the NFL to get my mom out of poverty. So I remember doing a story, and a young man said, there was no plan B? I said, no, it was plan A. It was going to work. The only one has to believe that is me. So what I would tell people or kids that they didn't really believe it, but it wasn't up to them. It was up to me. Height and weight does not matter. I was a blistering 5'11", 3/4, 182 pounds. Now, Florida State's media guys say I was 6'1", 190.
Yeah, a little bit better.
So when I get to the combine, they said, LeRoy Butler, 5'11". I say, BS, we got kids here.
Yeah.
That's not true. I'm 6'1". And then I remember the coaches, they don't draft you for that. Then I went to do the 40, a blistering 4'6", at corner. So maybe I won't even get drafted. But I got drafted because Florida State and the Packers were my one yes. You only need one yes. And that's what the documentary is about. Name something negative, I've been through it. And God navigated me through these rough waters to tell my story. Because I want every young man, every young lady, everybody, you determine your story. Now, of course, people like reading headlines. But when they read the story about where I came from, it's going to be very motivating. And it's not an excuse not to get what you want. Because people say, how does it feel to be in the Hall of Fame? I say, you know what? I'll tell you. If you're working somewhere and you get the one raise that you know you deserve, but you didn't tell anybody, and you wake up and it's direct deposit in your account, that's like making the Hall of Fame. Or if you're a young lady and you've been dating a guy for 14 years and he's never gonna propose to you and you give up, and next thing you know, you go into a room, there's your family, and he proposes to you. So in other words, ladies, don't give up on us. But don't give up on yourself. And it's very important for me to be as grounded as possible, because I want the next guy who come on this show to feel uncomfortable, because I have to follow up to that. But I'm like this all the time. People used to ask, Reggie, is LeRoy like this all the time? He's like, yes. 1 minute it gets on your nerves, and 1 minute you love him. It's the same guy, and that's what the documentary is pretty much about.
Well, look forward to it. When is it going to come out? Do we know yet? Or?
Yes. Well, it's gonna be the top of 26 because I'm doing it independently.
Yeah.
Instead of giving your story away, then it may not be what you want. Because I wanted to really talk about people who helped me. My teachers were amazing. Any teachers in here, you don't even need to raise your hand. I love you, I respect you. If it wasn't for my teachers, there is no LeRoy Butler. They taught me stuff like algebra. You have to add 2 numbers to get a letter. That turns into a circle. Now I gotta write a paragraph about it. Teachers are amazing.
They are.
And so that's the people who I wanna tell the story who helped me.
Good stuff. Can't wait, right? That's going to be a great story, great documentary. Looking forward to that. A couple more things, Ricardo, then we'll do our audience questions, right? Do our audience questions tonight. So you are a member of the Green Bay Packers Board of Directors. Does that give you license to storm into Matt LaFleur's office and tell him what's on your mind?
Absolutely not. It gives me a license to be quiet because he's an expert first. But it does give you perspective or do something I love doing. I'm on the committee to give away money, the Green Bay Packer Foundation. We help thousands of organizations to give them money to keep their doors open. And it also gives me a chance to work with people like Titletown Tech. It's like Silicon Valley. You just dropped it in the middle of Green Bay. And the kind of technology, so much so, I've created my own AI avatar that I'm developing that you can actually build it to think just like you. And it will answer a question as if I would answer it in my voice in 20 different languages. That's the kind of stuff I like, the technology type stuff. But more than anything, when you get in there and a guy like Gutekunst, who I have a lot of respect for, he goes in to give you the state of the team. And it's amazing because you get a chance to see the growth of Ed Policy, who's our next president in 26. You know, and meeting with Murphy, who's a fantastic guy for everything. So it just gives you the state of the team, but you don't pick players and all that kind of stuff. That's not a place for a narcissistic guy. It's for a guy to be a part of a team, not just what you would do. Go in there and say, no, I need you to do this. They say, get him off the board.
No, I wouldn't do that. That guy right there, Ricardo, he's the narcissist right here of the group.
Why he keep picking on you?
That guy.
I do have Butler versus bullying. I can put him in
Yes,
that
give it to
program.
him, please.
I'm stating facts.
You have a
Those are
problem, Brett.
factual. That is facts right there. That is no such thing as bullying.
That just means he loves you. That's all.
Listen, I'm glad you brought it up, though, Mark Murphy and Ed Policy. Mark Murphy, last season, right, as Packers president, he has to retire now because he'll be 70. Last season, you know, he's always been in the crosshairs for some reason. A lot of criticism of him with folks. But what's your take on his legacy? Because, man, I mean, he's kept this train rolling with not only the team being successful, a Super Bowl champion, Titletown, right, all that stuff. I mean, the business of the Packers has really thrived under his leadership.
He's like the owner of the team. Since we don't have an owner, we have shareholders. But the eye of the storm is Murphy because he did it a little bit different. He's the one that hired LaFleur, and basically, you know, Gutekunst picks the players. That's a little different than most teams. But I'll say this, Murphy was the perfect guy because it's some big things that you're going to talk about when we eventually go down in history. One, how did he navigate the Aaron Rodgers whole thing? How did that work? That's going to be one of the first things. Secondly, how did you get a coach like Matt LaFleur that no one really knew nationally to win more games than anybody the first 4 or 5 years? But you still got to win a Super Bowl. And then how does Green Bay look from the day he got there to now? I mean, and I'm going to tell you something. He should get the Nobel Peace Prize because next year we have the draft. Now, if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, did you ever think that the NFL draft would be in Green Bay? Because they were told us stuff like, we don't have enough hotels, we don't have this. Murphy's like, no. We're history. We're the culture. we deserve that. So he is truly done an amazing job for an organization that's run a little bit different, but he wants everybody's opinion. And I love that about him. And Ed is the same way. That's why I wasn't surprised that he got a unanimous vote. We can't go unanimous on anything in here. We're not even unanimous Packer fans. We got some Cub fans over there. You got Brewers over here. Think about unanimous. So Ed is going to do a wonderful job. And plus, he's a lawyer that I could ask for advice for free.
Free advice. Free legal advice. Yes.
For free.
Well, good stuff, LeRoy. How about LeRoy Butler bringing some great stuff so far tonight? One more thing, though. One more thing before we get to our audience, our questions, and we have a couple of the Kimberly Papermakers, right, boys soccer players. Rosie, put up the picture, if you could, of LeRoy and one famous basketball player. There's Michael Jordan and
Yes.
LeRoy Butler just kind of hanging out. There they
Look
are.
at that.
Look at that.
Yeah. Can I say I got
What's
5
going on
seconds?
there, LeRoy? Is he a Packers fan, by the way?
No, he's not.
No,
a
he's
Packer
not.
fan.
Okay.
I'll say this about Jordan. To be fair, LeBron James is the GOAT, but put that to the side.
Ooh,
Wait.
that's not unanimous either.
Wait a
Hey,
minute.
before we go, hey, Leroy, before we go,
I-
he took a shot of your Jordans. Leroy has
Yeah.
great shoe game. Check
Yeah.
him out again, Dan.
Thank
Take
you.
a shot of those shoes.
Yeah,
Now-
Look at
there
those.
they are on the
Whoa.
screen. There they are.
Now, look at this. The GOAT of shoes and a bald head is Jordan. But all the guys were running up to him taking a picture, right? You know, this Michael Jordan. But I know how to read the room. I learned this from my grandmother and my mother. I was the only one that had Jordans on.
Mm-hmm.
So all these Hall of Famers are coming up to him, trying to talk to him. He's like, yeah, but Roy Lee's the only one got J's on. You got to read the room, young man. You got to read the room.
Yeah.
Find out what your girl really likes so you don't just mess up a gift or just get her a gift card. Don't get her something that she won't use or she'll re-gift to her other friend. I knew I was going to meet him. I made sure I had on some Jordans.
Yeah.
And he appreciated that, so.
That's the picture.
Read
Hey,
the room.
By the way, I always give my wife a gift card. What's the matter
Ain't
with
what
that?
we heard.
What's wrong with
That's
that?
not
And,
email
and how
that
does she
we
look
got.
at you?
Then she can get whatever she wants. I tell you what, Ricardo, you got some paper makers right there, right? Boys
I
soccer
do.
guys.
And we have 2 questions for Leroy. This is from Mark. Mark, why don't you give me your full name? He's obviously a Kimberly boys soccer player. What's your question for Leroy?
My name is Mark Dempsey, and one of the questions that we had is what inspired you to do the Lambeau leap?
Yes, good question.
Well, first of all, you got to be a goalie because you're too tall, right? You're not a goalie. Oh. See, I don't know soccer. I don't know the rules. I don't know when I'm offsides. It was all spontaneous. I promise you. I never thought about it, dreamt about it, anything. It just popped in my head to do it. That's why I think it's one of the best celebrations, because I get a chance to jump up there and hug an actual owner, a shareholder. No other stadium can say that. So it was all spontaneous.
Great question. Ricardo, you got another one.
Yeah, where's Mason? Come on over here. Mason, again, right up next to me. Give your full name and what's your question for Leroy?
My name is Mason Brandt, and on behalf of the team, I just wanted to ask you, if you weren't a professional athlete, what would you have done?
Oh, that's a great question.
Another one, yeah.
There we go.
Not only do this team has amazing hair, all of them, okay? All these guys. So if you don't work out in like soccer, y'all can all be models. I went to Florida State University to be a therapist because, first of all, can't you notice I talk too much? And I'm a good listener because I always want to help people deal with things so they won't hurt themselves or somebody else. So I always, again, but it was my plan A was to play in the NFL, and God is good. But that's why I respect teachers, because they get a new 30 or 40 kids starting tomorrow. They learn everything about the kids, and trust me when I tell you this, they don't do it for the money. They do it to help kids like me. And so I always wanted to be a therapist. Matter of fact, I get therapy once a week for the last 28 years. On a Thursday, I talk to somebody to stay who I am. Because once I change, I've lost it. So it'll be a therapist. Thank you.
Great stuff. Great questions. Great answers. Love it. I mean, this is what a first show. This would be a perfect show if Ricardo wasn't here. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a fantastic show to start off the season. We're going to take a timeout, though,
Let's do it.
LeRoy. We're going to do it. It's time for tonight's Stat Pack. As we all know, the Packers and Eagles, they kick it off Friday night from Corinthians Arena. That's a cool sounding stadium, Ricardo, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Did you know the contest will mark the first time in the NFL that they will play a regular season game in South America? There you go. It's also the first time the NFL has scheduled a game on a Friday night of opening weekend in 54 years. The last Friday opening weekend game in the NFL was played way back on September 18th, 1970, when the St. Louis Cardinals took on the Los Angeles Rams. So a couple little tidbits there for you. Hey, Ricardo, guess what we're doing again this season?
Trivia?
Trivia. How does it work?
Oh, boy.
Here we go. We have trivia questions. We have great prizes. First, the rules. We'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, you got to raise your hand. Don't shout it out. And if they're correct, Brett, what do they win?
Hey, we got from the Timber Rattlers, we got a bobblehead of Shantyman Whiffer right there. That's one of them. And then we've got a couple of Udder Tugger things, right? The Wisconsin Udder Tuggers, right? That's a big deal as well. So let's give away the bobblehead first of all, Ricardo.
But once you win, you're out for the rest of the show. And sorry, live chatters, you got to be here to win.
All right, so LeRoy, you see who raises his or her hand first. I'm going to let you call.
Okay.
I'm going to read the question. New Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley spent the previous 4 seasons as the head coach of what collegiate team? What do you got here, LeRoy?
This young man over here to the right was the first one.
Where am I looking? Where are we looking?
Yeah, all the way to the right.
What's that? That's correct.
Yes.
Come on up and get your bobblehead. Boston College is right.
Yeah. I had a part 2 to that. I
I'll
was
let
going to
you-
ask him who is Boston College playing tonight, but he has a Reggie White jersey on, so it's good.
Yeah, he's good. So they're going to come on up. I'm going to let you give the bobblehead to
All right.
him. But Boston College, BC. Hey, my initial. That's why I like
Yes.
BC, Boston College. Hafley also spent time as an NFL assistant now with Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and San Francisco. Yeah, we'll go right here to the front. Congratulations. Give him a round of applause for getting it correct. Very good. Very, very good. Very good.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. So
Man, I love that jersey.
let's keep. Yeah, there it is. Let's keep
Reggie
this.
White.
Let's keep this going. Hey, Rosie, it is time for tonight's Clubhouse Live GIF of the night. What do we have? Let's look at the screen. There's LeRoy. Look at that. Look at you, LeRoy.
My
Look at
head's
you.
too big.
Look at you. There you are in bobblehead form. Look at you. You're looking like every Packers fan right now. You got the number 1 in the air, right? You're smiling. Your
Yes.
head's bobbing. You're feeling good about this current edition of the Green Bay Packers. So let's talk a little bit about the 2024 Packers. And of course,
Yes.
it always starts where? Got to be at the quarterback spot, right?
Well, of course. I mean, you think about we have to go all the way back real quick. You have a MVP quarterback. You're thinking, okay, get weapons. And I have a lot of respect for Brian Gutekunst because somewhere in that room, that draft room in 2020, he said, you know what? 2 things can be true. I want to be good now and in the future. So this is who I want. And this way, it's a quarterback from, this is a small school. This is not like a SEC or Big Ten school. Nope. That's what I want. Are you sure? Yes. LaFleur, yes. So once they turned that card in, things started to change a little bit for whatever reason. So when you get Jordan Love in, and now you got to start to build this team up. And the youngest team in the league, again, by the way, back-to-back seasons, you have to have a team that's on the same page. You can't be a band when you're trying to win, Brett. You have to be an orchestra. A band is one guy, he's out front, and the guys in the back are playing their instruments, fine. But bands break up. Orchestras don't break up because everybody on the same wavelength. And that's the reason why I believe in this team. And then, of course, when you lose a running back like Aaron Jones, he's like, oh, boy. And then you go out and get the number one running back. Well, the safety position, you got to upgrade it. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but we need to go get Xavier from the Giants. And then you have to put together a draft that can compete. Things start to change. And yes, I know what you're thinking. What about kicker? Okay, well, let's deal with that. Because you're thinking that sooner or later, it wasn't bringing in kickers was going to be hard. What was going to be hard, Will Gutekunst pull the trigger if Anders Carson doesn't outkick Joseph or anybody. Yes, that proves they're on the fast track. Now they're going to play a team like Philly, who didn't finish well. A year or so ago, a couple of years, was in the Super Bowl, but they got two new coordinators, the coaches. They boo everybody in Philly. So they even boo Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is not a rumor. That's true. So the reason why the NFL picked them is just an international game, and the best fan base is we want two teams that maybe a team don't believe in, maybe they think it's fool's gold, or a team that we think that can be one of the best. So I think it's a good matchup. I'm excited to see some of the younger guys play and some of the older guys build together, Brett. I'm very excited.
A lot of people are excited. A lot of people are excited to see if Jordan Love can continue his ascension into one of the NFL's elite, right? Time will tell. But I guess I wanted to ask you, because you have the experience in doing this. You were part of a group in the early 90s, right? In 93, you finally got a playoff win under your belt. That was the year that Favre hit Sterling Sharp from like 90,000 yards away. It was an incredible throw. Look it up on YouTube again, guys. It's one of the great plays in Packers history. Then lost to Dallas. Same thing in 94. 95, you got to the NFC championship game, losing to Dallas, and then finally you won it all in 96. Can this team now, they've got the playoff experience last year, right, beating Dallas, but then falling to San Francisco. Can they be on more of a fast track, or do they need some more playoff experience before they can really be truly considered a Super Bowl contender? Because you experienced that.
And you can say that San Francisco is that team like Dallas was to us, because if it wasn't for San Francisco, I think LaFleur would be in 3 Super Bowls. I mean, you think about in the playoffs and championship games, I mean, you can throw in the outlier with Brady and Tampa because you got home field, but that's the one team you got to beat them. And this year they come to Lambeau Field. I'll say this about experience, because I remember we lost to the Cowboys, as you indicated, in the 94-95 season. We had to learn how to win. And I remember Holmgren saying next year we're going to win it, because he knew what we needed. We were missing some pieces. With those pieces, we went through the season and we just kind of knew we had everything. That's what this team is all about. Because you can go back in that fourth quarter of the San Francisco game and you're thinking you're this close. The same thing with Detroit, by the way. But you got to learn how to win when you're ahead and when you need to come from behind. And that's, just look at the stress level of Matt LaFleur. Just look how, he just looks so relaxed. He can finally run his offense his way. He doesn't need a number one receiver. He got 5 to 7 guys. If he calls their number, they're going to make plays. And for Hafley, all he got to do is stop the run. Can you think about 3 times last year, maybe even 4, giving up over 200 yards? And that's the reason why losing to Christian McCaffrey in the fourth quarter, you got to stop the run. And I think that's what they're going to try to do.
How did you guys deal with the heightened expectations, right? As you guys were an ascending team, like what advice would you give these guys this year? Because last year they didn't have a target on their backs. Right. Now this year they kind of do, right? And this year they're one of those on the short list of NFC contenders. It's a different role for them. So how did you guys handle that, and what advice would you give to these guys to handle that?
Embrace it. Embrace it. Yes, I want all the smoke. Yes, I'm one of 8 teams that can win it all. Because that's the good thing about, talking to a therapist. Fix me, because I got too many negative things going on. I need to clear my mind. When I swipe that key card, it's one team, one dream. That's it. No other problems. Now, if you swipe your key card, it turns red, you've just been traded. But otherwise. But for a team, football is the ultimate team sport, because I was a special needs kid. And shout out to the special needs teachers, because I would see kids who were bullying me and saying negative stuff. I didn't hear anything. I just saw their mouths moving. So you're telling me that God gave everybody a talent, and my talent is I can ignore negative stuff? That's how you win. Because when it gets tight in the fourth quarter, you only think about winning. You don't think, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? That's how we were able to go down to New Orleans and beat a team like New England, who at one point, Brett, they had the momentum, they were winning.
Yeah.
But we went to the sideline, we regrouped, kept the positive thinking, and we were able to win the Super Bowl. They can do the same thing. When you're a young team, it's like a sponge. You have to absorb it and embrace the fact that you're one of these great teams.
A few more things to get through this segment, then we're taking another time out. But let's talk. You referenced Jeff Hafley and those guys. What gives you the belief that this is finally the match, the perfect match between coordinator and the players that are on that side, right?
Great question. Great question.
Thank you.
This is how I knew Hafley, we don't know about the statistics. This is how I knew he was going to work. Because people are saying, wait a minute, how do you go from head coach to coordinator? Sometimes it ain't up to you. It's what God put you in a position, okay? It ain't up to you. So you got to get out of your way. When you get a plan, you got to buy in. So to Van Ness, who was standing up, number 90, if you're a Bears fan, is number 90. I may ask you to put your hand in the dirt. 52, Rashad Garrett, I may ask you to put your hand in the dirt. 97, I may ask you to do a 3 technique. You got to buy in. And the reason why we were so good, Keith McKenzie was our special rusher. So he had to come in and get Sean Jones. Sean Jones got to buy in. What if Sean said, no, I want to go after the quarterback. It's about me, me, me. Doesn't work. He's giving everybody a plan just for them. So now all I got to do is go out and play. All Keith did is stared at the third down marker. When it was third down, he run in the game. So the guys like Cooper, who hasn't played at all, because he's been hurt, he still has a plan. Everybody has a plan. We all get playbooks, yes, but some guys get a supplement. It's just like 3 or 4 pages. That's what I'm good at. That's what Hafley has brought to the team. He goes over and talks to guys one-on-one. You know what? I think you'll be a great 3 technique. I'll do it your way, but try my way first, and let's come up with a plan. That's why I'm excited. And there is a difference between 3-4 and 4-3, but I don't want to bore people with that.
Well, yeah, base defense, but they're always in the subs now, right? With the nickel out there. But yeah, simplifying. Sounds like he simplified things for these guys so they can play a little bit faster, not think as much, and they got a lot of speed and a lot of talent on that side of the ball. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that all fits out. You mentioned the safety room, too. It's been completely rebuilt, and you're an old safety, right?
Yes.
So you got to be excited about that back end, right? You got, of course, Xavier McKinney, one of the top safeties in the league, signs with the Packers as a free agent. You got Javon Bullard, who looks like a missile out there, and you got
Williams.
Williams, yeah. You got I've got it right here. Evan Williams. You got Zane Anderson, Katan Oladapo is part of this mix, and all of a sudden a safety position that looked kind of a little bit of a weak link back there. Now
it's okay to say that. I mean, we have to be fair.
Now they look like a strength. I mean, you got to be excited as an old safety looking at the potential of what those guys can do.
I'm glad you brought up safety. It's the one position that has no help. Everybody else on the field has somebody behind them but safety. If somebody gets behind me, I'm on Sports Center.
It's over, yeah.
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 But if I can tackle well, get some picks, we're winning games. And I think that's important for them to recognize that, to go out, to get McKinney from the Giants and to say, okay, we got everything, the Quay Walkers of the world. We got everything, but we're missing the safety position. Now, the only position I have a little bit of anxiety is slot corner, because that position is going to catch a lot of stress because you always got 4 guys going after the quarterback.
Yeah.
So right now, I want to see them upgrade that at some point.
Well, Keyshawn Nixon right now, our former co-host, but hearing that Bullard could maybe be playing on the slot as well. So we'll see how it goes. Again, how about LeRoy Butler here on the season premiere show? Let's take another timeout. And Ricardo, we're going to do trivia question number 2. You are asking the question.
Oh, okay. Well, I need both you and LeRoy to look out into the crowd as I ask this question. So remember to raise your hand if you think you know it. Here we go, Brett. This is a good question put together by you. Jordan Love coming off a season in which he became only the 3rd NFL quarterback to throw for at least 4,000 yards and at least 32 touchdowns in his first season with what is deemed as multiple starts. Can you name one of the other 2 quarterbacks to have accomplished that feat? Hint, one is a Hall of Famer who briefly, very briefly, played for the Packers, and the other is a future first ballot Hall of Famer.
I saw AJ's hand way up there, back first. What do you got, AJ? He's one of them. Come on up. That was the easy one. Yeah, he gets the bell.
Hey,
Patrick
congratulations.
Mahomes. That was too easy. He's like the answer to almost every quarterback trivia question right now. AJ, you got some Wisconsin Udder Tuggers stuff. It looks like a little bowl here or something for your cereal.
I thought it was
in the
an
morning.
ashtray.
Yeah, and a T-shirt as well. So there you go, AJ. Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You know who the other one was? Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner, yeah.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Warner did it in 1999 with the St. Louis Rams, and Mahomes did it in 2018 with the Chiefs. By the way, Love became the first quarterback in Packers history to lead Green Bay to the postseason in his first full year as a starter since back to 1950 when the league started tallying starts for all players. So he's making some history.
That's awesome.
And Kurt Warner, folks don't realize he was a Packers quarterback
Very briefly.
Back when I think Favre and Brunell might have been on it. Detmer, I think, was part of that as well. Talk about a quarterback room. So, hey, Rosie, we need some music because it is time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge, the first one of the year. And it is sponsored by Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Your Center for Dental Excellence voted Reader's Choice Best Dentist, Best of the Bay in back-to-back years. Let Dr. Sebastian and his team of professionals help you achieve your dream smile. LeRoy, show what that great work that Dr. Sebastian has done again to your teeth. Yes. Right there.
Yes.
Pearly whites. So
best in the business.
Yes, absolutely. Does great work. So we're going to play a new game. A brand new game here on Clubhouse Live. It's called Higher Lower, okay?
Higher or lower?
Now, a brand new game, and here's how it works, LeRoy. I am going to ask you 2 questions, each pertaining to a particular stat, okay? Now, you then have to guess what that stat is. But if you're too high, I'll say lower. If you're too low, I'll say higher. And we'll do that until you guess the correct number. So, for example, how many numbers have the Packers retired? If you guess 4, I'll say higher. If you guess 8, I'll say lower until you get to the number 6, okay? Now, if this game sounds familiar, like a Price is Right maybe or something, maybe I stole it. Maybe I'm borrowing it a little bit, but so what? That's how it works. So we're called Higher, Lower, but we're giving it a Packers Clubhouse Live twist. Now, you have 30 seconds. Okay, to correctly answer both questions. If you do, you win the game and prizes for tonight's contestant, and she is sitting right there. It's crazy Ashley Bellin right there.
Oh, no.
Now, what can she win? We have this set of Packers playing cards, courtesy of our friends at Shields.
Oh, wow. Is there any gum in there?
No gum. I don't think there's any, like, double bubble or whatever that. You know, the gum where you chew for 3 minutes and then it's terrible afterwards? We also have this Packers Heritage Trail book. This is very cool.
Oh,
by
very
Cliff
nice.
Crystal, a Packers historian.
Oh, Cliff's great.
And a Go Pack Go can koozie, courtesy of our friends at Miller Lite.
Okay.
So that's what you're under. That's the pressure you are under. Now, if you win, she wins. If you don't win, Ashley will have to whisper sweet nothings into Ricardo's ear all night long.
All night?
All night long.
How do we know that hasn't happened already?
Easy now.
Yeah.
Easy.
Hey, this is Clubhouse Live After Dark.
No,
right?
we saved that for Clubhouse Live After Dark. That's the adult show. That's on tonight at 11.
God. No, this is a family show, man.
Now, yeah, this is the family edition of Clubhouse Live. Now, Ricardo, you will keep track of the time.
Okay.
But don't start the clock until I have completely asked the first question, and then you stop the clock once he gets the first question right and the second question right. So are we ready to do this?
Yes.
You guys think LeRoy can do this? Can he accomplish this?
They must have didn't see the last show.
I mean, you are a Hall of Fame safety. You did so much good stuff on the field. You were a sack machine. You were an interception machine. You were a tackling machine.
I'm bad at trivia.
You can do this. So here we go. Higher, lower. The first time we're going to play this game. Here we go. LeRoy, how many regular season touchdown passes did Brett Favre throw in your Super Bowl title season of 1996? Go.
35.
Higher.
40.
Lower.
38.
Higher.
36. 39.
Yes, Ricardo, stop the clock.
Okay. LeRoy, you did great. You have 24 seconds left.
Yes.
24 seconds.
Yes.
This is a piece of cake. I like this
Yes.
game. This is fun.
Yeah.
Number 2. You feeling good about this? This
Yes,
is a
I
tough
am.
one. This is a tougher one.
Okay.
George Kuntz, your teammate.
Kootsay.
The original Kuntz,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
Take that, John Kuhn. I know you're watching the show.
Two things can be true.
Now,
Adrian Cooper, too. We will say Cooper,
Adrian, yeah,
him,
Cooper.
too.
I can't wait to see him on the field, by the way. But
Yeah.
Anyway, George Kuntz, a friend of the show. Dr. George
He's been on.
Kuntz,
Yes.
right? He was the top tackler for your 1996 defense.
Mm-hmm.
How many total tackles did he end up with during the regular season? Go.
125.
Lower.
100.
Lower.
95.
Higher.
97.
Yes, he got it. That's it.
Brett. 15 seconds.
That is phenomenal work. Rosie, we need some championship music because LeRoy is the winner of the inaugural
Shout out to all my
higher,
teachers.
lower game. That means Crazy Ashley's going home with the set of playing cards, courtesy of Shields, the Go Pack Go, Can Koozie, courtesy of Miller Lite, and this great book, Packers Heritage Trail. How about a round of applause for LeRoy and Crazy Ashley tonight?
Yes, yes,
Piece of cake.
yes. I'll add a Hall of Fame 8x10 with that, too. That'll keep you away from Ricardo.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you finished second in 96 in total tackles. You had 87. How about that? The safety doing some
I
work.
didn't know that. I'm glad you didn't ask me about me.
You didn't need anybody behind you. You had that all to yourself. So, all right, Tay, this is where we're going to honor our high school team of the
Yes,
week, Ricardo. I'm
yes,
going to give it
yes.
to you, but how about talking about the members of the Kimberly boys soccer team?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
Come on, stand up, boys.
stand up.
Stand up.
Guys,
Little
stand
shot.
up.
Ricardo, I think they are. I think they're 2-1 on the season. Actually,
2-1. Listen, and I'm going to say this as a guy who's covered high school sports for a while. We've been waiting. Now, in the spring, the girls' team went down. Remember that? They went down for the first time in a long time. Brett, I'm expecting these guys to do the same, to break that streak of area teams not being down there. I think this team is the one to do it. I'm going to tell you why. They're 2-1 on the season. Up next for them is a FEA matchup against Appleton West, but they got a lot of great players. They're obviously coached by one of the best coaches in the area. Carl's back there, though. We can't see him.
Yeah, where's the coach
He can
at?
stand out. There he
there's
is.
Carl Gardner. Carl
Yes.
Gardner, right there.
Now, Brett, Carl is a local legend.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's well known in soccer, the soccer circles. He's a
Nice.
great track and field coach.
Yep.
This is the team that's going to break down to Uline Soccer Park in Milwaukee this in November, I guess it would be, right? This is a team. This is a team that's going to do it, Brett.
This is the team
All right.
right here, the Kimberly Papermakers.
Plus, Brett, as we know, they ask great questions of LeRoy as well.
Yes, they do.
Better
Yes, they
questions
do.
than I asked. That's for darn sure.
So again, give it up again, Kimberly Boys Soccer.
Yes, our high school team of the week.
Nice.
Oh, to be young again, huh, LeRoy? Wouldn't it be nice?
Is
to
that
see
the
their
coach?
age?
Is that your staff? Okay,
Yes.
always be nice to the staff, coach. Yeah, be nice to the staff.
Be nice to the staff. Yep. All right. So good luck to the Papermakers. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight as we kick off the season. But we're going to finish it up. We have one more quick segment, LeRoy. I want to talk about Brazil. Here we come, huh? Brazil,
Yes.
South America.
Yes.
Do you like the idea of flying all the way down to Brazil to play a game on a Friday night in
Absolutely.
week 1 of the
Yes.
NFL season?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this?
I was very excited because the NFL moving forward is an international brand. And to have it in South America, there now the stadium is small. I think it's 47,000 or so, but we have Packer fans everywhere. I would not be surprised in the future, next 2 or 3 years, they're going to play in Australia, or maybe down the line, maybe even having a team to be overseas at some point. But I love the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars, they play out the country all the time. So I love that brand of the NFL. And it's a good platform for your team. Because I went last year when they played in London. That was a lot of fun, so I love it.
All right. Well, you have a little bit of experience. You played in Tokyo. Remember
Yes,
in
yes.
98 preseason. You got to fly
yes.
all. How
Yes.
do you kind of deal
I
with
played
that,
there
though?
when I was at Florida State. We played in the Japan Bowl, and I was defensive MVP.
Okay.
And they said, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, I'm in poverty. I want a VCR." The kid like, "Y'all have VCRs?" Yes. And I saw a samurai hat. I said, "I want that," and they gave it to me.
You still have it?
Yep. Well, it's at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Because I want them to kind of see stuff like that. So I love international travel and seeing that G outside the country. I love it. I love it.
Well, we're going to see it Friday night. You guys looking forward to that game at 7
So
o'clock
excited.
kickoff?
So excited.
Can't believe the season's here already. Crazy how fast time goes. But last thing, okay, you're a defensive leader. You were one of the leaders of the Packers throughout your career, including that Super Bowl run. If you were on this team now, what would you say to kind of, as a defensive leader, you're getting up in front of the team and you got something to tell Jordan Love and all these young guys about the season, the expectations. What's your message? What's your speech to these guys if you had to stand in front of the room?
I'll say something that Coach Holmgren told me because he was one of the best teachers, therapists, parents. I'll never forget this. I would tell them, everybody has a bad day. Everybody. No one's excluded. Everybody have a bad day. But it just cannot be on Sundays or Mondays.
Nice.
Because we didn't have Thursday night games and Friday night games. So I would extend that. Anytime we're having a game, you can't have a bad day. You can't. Because we're different like all the other teams. You can bump into your owner at Pick and Save or somewhere, and a shareholder. We're different. We're built different. So when you go out there, yes, you're going to see everybody in green and gold. Dogs got on green and gold sweaters. Grandma got cheese earrings. And everybody's at a watch party. It means different because that trophy says Lombardi on it. That's what people need to hear, the impact of what you stand for. And then they'll be ready to run through a wall after that.
How about that? You guys ready to run through a wall? Yeah. How about a big round of applause for LeRoy Butler tonight?
Hey, Brett. I have a real quick question from online.
Yeah,
Kurt
go ahead.
Kozad, our friend, who's come to the show, and he lives.
Yep.
I don't think he lives in state. He has a real quick question. The number 36. Why did you choose that number?
Well, I didn't choose it. Lindy Infante. I was number 6 at Florida State, and when I got there, it was in my locker. They don't give you a chance to. I mean, it just kind of wore on me. I was hoping to get a single digit, but in the pros at that time, you can't have single digits. So the coach picked it up. So rest in peace to Lindy Infante. He picked 36.
And
Oh,
it
it's
worked
that
out,
simple.
Worked out well
Okay.
for you,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so good stuff. Thank you, Kurt. Thanks for watching. Hope we see you here.
Thank you so much.
Hey, but Ricardo, it's time to go up north, right? So speaking of Packers and Eagles, this is where we make our predictions again. So who are you picking to win the big game on Friday night?
As much as I want to see Green Bay start 0-1, I think they're going to be better prepared than Philly. I don't know why. This week, I'm going to pick them to win. That's not going to be every week, though.
Wow.
Bro. Just this week.
Okay.
Just this week.
You got a big smile on a Mean Gene right there. Well,
Don't get used to it.
I had to look for this in the old closet today, but it is
Ooh.
the victory visor. It is back. It's going on my head because that means I am picking I'm picking a Packers victory. What do you guys think, right? I mean, come on.
You got a score?
I got a score. I'm going to say 27-21. I think it's going to be a good
Okay.
battle, but I think Ricardo's right. There's a little dysfunction going on right now with the Eagles.
Yeah,
Some
they
weird
just don't
stuff.
seem like they're prepared.
Weird juju, weird vibes, right? And the quarterback and the head coach not seeing eye to eye. So I like this young group of receivers. There is no number one, but there is a bunch of number really good. So how about that? So who do you pick, right? Including the tight ends and then Josh Jacobs as well behind an offensive line that should be solid and productive. I think the new and improved defense, though, comes up with a key stop, right, to kind of secure that win. And then it's a happy flight home from Brazil to Green Bay. Packers start out 1-0. Do you like that, Mean Gene? Yeah, I know you like that. Ricardo, Packers News app.
Yep, that's right. With exclusive commentary, insider analysis, and award-winning photos and videos from USA Today Network, Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. Brett, that Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay Packers. Unlimited digital access to the Packers News app, and PackersNews.com can be yours for as low as 99 cents for that first month. Brett, we need that money. Please subscribe today.
Please subscribe. Yes, we could use it.
I like when he tell the truth. We need that money.
Hey,
I like that.
He's telling the truth is right. So
That's
thank
right.
you to our sponsors and friends. First, our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Local IQ. We also want to thank our segment sponsor, Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. And finally, thank you to our supporting sponsors and friends, Shields, Escort Limousine Service, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Mike Thiel and Eric Lives here giving us the intro-outro song again, Miller Lite, and of course the good folks here with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers and the Fox Club. Programming note, next week, as I mentioned, we have a great guest already lined up. Green Bay Packers Pro Bowl defensive tackle, number 97, Kenny Clark is going to be here.
Yes.
And actually,
You can ask him for some money. He got plenty of money.
yeah, he's got some bucks. He's going to actually join us semi-regularly throughout the season,
Very
here and
nice.
there. So you definitely want to be here for that as we look back on the Packers Week 1 showdown with the Eagles and more. Kicks off again next Monday night, 6:30, right here at the Fox Club in Grand Chute. LeRoy, I'm going to give you the final word again. What a fantastic way to kick off the season with the Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Yes.
But what is your final word to all of these great fans here tonight?
Make it real simple. Go, Pack, go.
There you go.
That's it.
Keep those claps coming for the Hall of Famer, LeRoy, for Ricardo, and the rest of the Clubhouse Live crew. I'm Brett Christopherson signing so long. Be back here next Monday night at 6:30 as we celebrate a Packers Week 1 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, be sure to hang out and check out LeRoy and the quick autograph session. In the meantime, Mean Gene, our unofficial mascot, take it away, Mean Gene.
That's all.